Imagine waking up and the very geography of our planet is just unrecognizable. I mean, we're talking about a world where the ground beneath us literally fractures. Massive mountains are completely shattered, and the global population undergoes a reduction so drastic it completely defies our modern comprehension. We are looking at a physical and geographic transformation on a staggering scale. But here's the thing. This isn't the plot of some new apocalyptic science fiction movie. No, this is the exact future laid out in ancient palm leaf manuscripts from eastern India known as the Bhavishya Malika. In this explainer, we're taking a deep investigative look into this prophesied physical destruction and, just as importantly, the spiritual remnant that's meant to emerge from the ashes. Okay, let's dive into this. 16 to 17. According to the Bhavishya Malika, this absolutely unprecedented number represents the Richter scale magnitude of the greatest upcoming earthquake prophesied to strike the Earth. To put that into perspective for a second, modern science rarely even bothers to model earthquakes above a magnitude 10. A magnitude 16 to 17 earthquake isn't just a natural disaster, it's an event of absolute planetary shattering. And the Malika declares that the epicenter for this incomprehensible seismic event will be none other than the high plateau of the Himalayas, literally the roof of the world. To understand exactly how this plays out, we need to look directly at the source text. The great Saint Achyutanandas, who was the foremost of the Panchasakha, wrote that frequent and incredibly strong earthquakes are going to occur. Specifically, he mentions Dinitara, meaning 3 massive earthquakes will take place, shaking the entire universe. The texts describe a shaking so violent, so intense that even the tallest, most highly reinforced modern buildings will instantly crumble to dust. We're talking about a total destabilization of the Earth's crust. And this brilliantly illustrates the actual mechanics behind this prophecy, which are incredibly specific. You see, the Bhavishya Malika doesn't just predict the ground shaking. It describes a total collapse of the Panchabhuta. Those are the 5 great elements of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The scripture states that human civilization has polluted these elements so severely that they will literally turn against us. This triggers what the text calls a pawan pralay, which translates to an annihilating wind devastation. A catastrophic storm made up of 49 different types of winds will blow simultaneously, violently fragmenting the Himalayan mountains and just laying total waste to the region. The high ground essentially becomes ground zero for the destruction. Now, we have to shift our focus from the physical Earth to the staggering human toll this will take. 100 crore. That is 1 billion people. The Bhavishya Malika records with chilling clarity that 1 billion people will lose their lives in a single day due to this unprecedented seismic and elemental cataclysm. It's a scenario of devastation that is, quite frankly, extremely difficult for humanity to even imagine, let alone prepare for. So where exactly is all of this going to happen? Well, the scripture grounds this ancient prophecy in what we now recognize as modern geopolitics. According to the Bhavishya Malika, this intense devastation and massive loss of life will be concentrated across a very specific geographical corridor. It stretches right from Delhi up through Nepal, cuts across Pakistan, Baluchistan, and Afghanistan, reaches deep into China and Hong Kong, and then sweeps all the way down into Indonesia and Thailand. The Himalayan collapse essentially sends a massive shockwave of destruction across the entire Asian continent and beyond. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the aftermath of this event doesn't just damage our infrastructure, it physically redraws the world map. The Malika prophesies that our current geographical landscape will undergo drastic, permanent changes. Because the Earth fractures so deeply, massive mountain ranges and rolling hills will literally be leveled and transformed into flowing rivers. The very topography of the Asian continent is going to be completely inverted. But within all of this immense destruction, the scripture also describes a profound cleansing and renewal. As the mountains fracture, numerous rivers that have been completely dried up or lost underground for millennia will revert back to their ancient original forms. According to the Bhavishya Malika, all the sacred rivers of the ancient Satya Yuga will be revived, flowing once again with pure, sweet water. And this actually includes the miraculous reawakening of the highly sacred Saraswati River, which will return life and fertility to this drastically altered landscape. And incredibly, the planetary changes do not stop at the surface. The Malika unequivocally declares, the Earth will split into 2 parts. The sun will rise in the west and set in the east. Think about that for a second. The Bhavishya Malika is clearly describing a massive shift in the Earth's axial tilt following these earthquakes, physically interchanging the positions of the north and south poles. It is quite literally a complete resetting of the planetary clock and compass.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the man bringing these incredible ancient texts to the world's attention. This is Pundit Dr. Kashinath Mishra, Bhavishya Malika's scholar and spiritual guide under the Biswa Sanatana Dharma Seva Trust. For over 3 decades, he has been the absolute foremost living authority researching, preserving, and meticulously translating these exact prophecies from ancient Odia into languages that the whole world can finally understand.
It is absolutely vital for us to understand that what we are looking at here is the authentic scriptural record. We're not talking about vague local folklore, and these aren't just personal interpretations. As illuminated by Pandit Dr. Kashinath Mishra's deep, rigorous scholarship, these are direct, specific teachings straight from the Bhavishya Malika tradition. The Biswa Sanatana Dharma Seva Trust serves to preserve this ancient wisdom, providing humanity with the exact, step-by-step blueprint left by the sages over 600 years ago.
And this brings us to a really critical pivot in the Malika's message, the promise of survival. Out of our current global population of roughly 800 crore or 8 billion people, the prophecy states that 92% will perish in the coming disasters. But it is not a total extinction event. 8% will survive. The texts refer to this as a khanda pralaya, a partial dissolution, which leaves behind a very specific, chosen remnant to inherit the new earth.
So the crucial point is this specific remnant. 64 crore, or 640 million people. According to the Bhavishya Malika, this is the exact size of the surviving population globally. And the texts are incredibly clear about who these people actually are. They aren't defined by their wealth or their power or their status. They are defined by righteousness. They are the devotees who strictly follow the path of truth, who diligently perform their daily spiritual duties like the sandhya, and who sincerely chant the name of the divine, specifically the name of Madhav.
And for this righteous remnant of 64 crore, there is a focal point of ultimate hope, a place called Sambhal. Historically speaking, the Malika notes this as a village established by King Jajati Keshari as a safe haven for devoted Brahmins. But spiritually, Sambhal means the abode of Shambhu, or a place of divine possession. It is prophesied to be the ultimate refuge and the very stage for the greatest divine intervention of our era.
And this intervention is actually confirmed across multiple Sanatana Dharma scriptures. Take this verse from the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana, for instance. It perfectly aligns with the Bhavishya Malika, stating clearly that the Supreme Lord will take birth in the home of a revered, devout Brahmin right there in the village of Sambhal. This is the great prophecy of the Kalki avatar. Lord Kalki will manifest specifically to destroy unrighteousness, absolutely protect those 64 core devotees, and completely re-establish Dharma on the earth.
So, the cataclysms, the immense earthquakes, the shifting of the poles, all of it, according to the Bhavishya Malika, serves one ultimate divine purpose, clearing away the heavy darkness of the Kali Yuga to finally make way for the dawn of the Satya Yuga. Under the direct guidance of Lord Kalki, the surviving remnant will be led completely out of this period of destruction and into a beautifully restored world. The texts clearly point to the year 2032 as the beginning of this incredible golden era of eternal religion, peace, and universal harmony.
We have covered a truly staggering amount of prophecy today, haven't we? From entire continents shattering to the miraculous rebirth of sacred rivers, all of it meticulously preserved by dedicated scholars like Pandit Dr. Kashinath Mishra. The Bhavishya Malika lays out a roadmap of unparalleled destruction, yes, but also one of ultimate divine salvation. It leaves every single one of us with a profound choice regarding our own personal spiritual path. So, as we look toward this rapidly approaching prophesied future, the ultimate question the Malika asks you is this: will you be among the 64 crore?